away from the Middle East and in Africa. The African Union Agenda 2063 Ambassadorial Assembly is making big moves for Africa's future. Its first ever annual lecture, awards, gala, and dignitaries and stakeholders and top visionaries came together to discuss how Africa can grow stronger, more inclusive, and globally competitive. The focus is clear: implementing the right policies and investing in technology to secure the sustainable future for Africa. This gathering is part of the African Union's Agenda 2063, a blueprint designed to transform the continent into a global force for good.
This moment marks a pivotal milestone in our collective journey towards achieving the Africa that we all want. Tonight, we gather to appraise the 11-year journey of the African Union Agenda 2063, Agenda 2063, and chart the way forward. It's important to understand the importance of Agenda 2063, and most member states, which are countries, states within countries, need to understand what Agenda 2063 is. Everybody seems to know SDG goals, but very few persons are aware of Agenda 2063 that is our own. The African Union Agenda 2063 is more than a roadmap. It is a declaration of our collective resolve to transform Africa into a global powerhouse of the future. It reflects our aspiration for inclusive growth, sustainable development, peace, and unity. Our duty as ambassadors is to champion these ideals with unwavering commitment, ensuring that they remain central to Africa's developmental narrative.
I just want Africa, not only Nigeria, Africa as a continent, to be in the same vehicle. In the sense that I want all of us to be on the same page in implementing this Agenda 2063. Agenda 2063 is a collective responsibility and it's a framework for development. So if we're at the level of the head of state and government of the African Union, which is the apex organs of the Union, have come together to endorse this agenda and call it a framework for development, an agenda for development for the Africa, then it is responsibility upon each and every one of them to make sure that this agenda is fully domesticated and working toward the implementations of it. The Africa we want to be the Africa that the world needs. If we want to make it to be Africa that the world needs, we need more seats in that seat. Where you look at those that are even on permanent seats, on the seat of the Peace and Security Council of the African Union, are just 5 or 6 countries. What happened that the Africa cannot be named to even have the permanent seat there? It means for not having the permanent seat, it means there are some people that actually hold the United Nations by themselves. So which means that we, Africa, we are just like a co-holder. So we are just like a running mate. So it is not make us to be a major player, a major stakeholder. So having more seats, or not even more seats, having permanent seats, I think it will also help us not to be seen Africa as a third country or developing countries. Then we can be a joint ends. We can hold the world together.
We must have a political will, politicians that are ready and that have the interest of the country at heart to make sure that we are doing things right for the development of Nigeria. If not, this after is going to be a very huge disadvantage to us, because we are going to allow smaller nations to create the enabling environment for industries. As we are talking now, some of our industries have started relocating to smaller African countries. And with the AFTA, they will be producing in those smaller countries and they will be supplying Nigeria.
Electricity access in Africa generally, not only Nigeria, is an issue. And it's issue with multi-dimensions, issue of energy theft, issue of infrastructure vandalization. So I think awareness to the Africans on security of this asset, important assets for energy delivery, is key and is part of the mandate of an ambassador to ensure that we enlighten our populace to stop vandalizing these critical assets that supply energy to the Africans, not only Nigeria.
Let's put hands together and make Africa of our dream. The Africa we want, the Africa without borders, the Africa where no man is oppressed, the Africa you can wake up, you want to go to south, west, north, you will go without being bothered of anything. A prosperous Africa.
On behalf of the African Union Agenda Ambassadorial Assembly 2063, we are happy to present the award based on your outstanding contribution and the belief on the African Union Agenda Ambassadorial Assembly 2063. Congratulations.
Sanga!